I'm a 28-year-old woman recently engaged to my boyfriend of 7 years, Liam, who's 30. He proposed during a surprise beach trip, and it was everything I'd ever dreamed of. A sunset, the sound of waves, and Liam down on one knee with the most beautiful ring I'd ever seen. It was perfect, and I was over the moon. However, if you knew my family, you'd know nothing in my life can ever stay uncomplicated. My younger sister, Emma, who's 26, has always been the center of attention. She's the golden child of the family, and my parents have always coddled her, no matter what. If she messed up, they had excuses ready. If I succeeded, they found a way to downplay it in comparison to her. Emma thrives on this dynamic, and it's been like this for as long as I can remember. When I called to share the news of my engagement, my mom was thrilled, well, for about 2 seconds. Then she asked if Emma knew yet. My dad chimed in to remind me not to make Emma feel left out, which was bizarre because this was my engagement, not some group activity. It was a red flag, but I let it slide. To celebrate the engagement, my parents suggested a family vacation to a resort by the beach. They said it would be a chance for everyone to relax and connect. Liam was hesitant, but I convinced him it'd be fine. After all, I thought, what's the worst that could happen? Emma arrived late, as always, sauntering in like she was the guest of honor. She looked annoyed the entire time. At first, I thought it was the heat, but her mood became obvious during dinner. She made snide comments about the size of my ring, comparing it to the one her fiancé, Jason, gave her. Liam really went minimalist, huh? She said, laughing. Jason looked uncomfortable, but nobody said anything. It was classic Emma. She'd always find a way to ruin the moment without being outright confrontational. The next day, we decided to take some family photos by the water. My mom wanted a picture of me and Emma together, holding hands, and I reluctantly agreed. Emma grabbed my hand and made a show of admiring the ring. You sure this won't fall off? It's so light, it might just float away, she joked. I forced a smile, but I could feel Liam tense up next to me. Then it happened. Emma held my hand a little too tightly, and before I could react, she flung my ring into the ocean. It was so quick I barely processed it. One moment she was holding my hand, the next she was gasping dramatically and saying, "Oh no, it slipped." She didn't even try to hide the smirk on her face. Everyone froze. My mom was the first to speak, scolding me for reacting so dramatically. My dad suggested it was an accident. Liam and I were already in the water, frantically searching, but the waves made it impossible to see anything. After what felt like an eternity, we gave up. The ring was gone. Emma's apology was the cherry on top. "I'm so sorry," she said, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "I didn't mean for it to happen. Maybe you shouldn't wear something so loose next time." My parents, instead of holding her accountable, told me I should let it go because rings can be replaced. Liam was livid and wanted us to leave immediately. I was furious too, but I wasn't ready to let Emma win. Leaving would mean she got away with it, and I was tired of being the one to back down. That evening, while everyone else was pretending nothing had happened, I pulled Emma aside to confront her. She rolled her eyes and accused me of overreacting. "You're always so sensitive," she said. "It's not my fault you can't take a joke." Jason, Emma's fiancé, overheard part of our conversation. He looked genuinely shocked when I told him what she'd done. "She didn't mean it," he said weakly, but his expression said otherwise. I could tell he was starting to see a side of Emma he hadn't before. The rest of the trip was tense. My parents kept trying to guilt-trip me into forgiving Emma, saying things like, she's under a lot of stress planning her wedding, and family is more important than a piece of jewelry. Liam stayed by my side, encouraging me to stand my ground. By the end of the trip, I knew this wasn't something I could just brush off. Emma had gone too far, and my parents' constant enabling had only made her worse. It was time for her to face the consequences of her actions. For once, I wasn't going to let her ruin another important moment in my life without fighting back. As we packed to leave, I decided I was done being the bigger person. Emma wasn't going to get away with